If you watch any Muslim video, they will say to you, the Prophet, he was a good man. He was called a Sadiq al-Amin, which means the trustworthy, the honest. And he was marrying women just to spread Islam. I mean, look at the excuse. The excuse alone is a crime. Because you just confirmed to me that Muhammad is a fraud. If I cannot, like let us say I claim to be a prophet, so now I'm going to marry women from the neighborhood. So why? So people will join me and accept me as a prophet. Isn't it obvious that this guy is a fraud? Because if he is a prophet, will God have a plan for him? Is it God who sent him? Is it God plan that you marry women so people will believe you? Since when, if I marry your daughter, you believe in me? That is funny. Marrying your daughter will make you my father-in-law, and I am your son-in-law, but will not make me your prophet. So in their answer, actually, they are accusing your prophet to be a fraud. Why did Prophet Muhammad have so many wives? Okay, why? Like Muhammad, when he married his third wife Aisha at the age of 6, was that a human behavior? Aisha, she was 17 going in her 18 when Muhammad passed away. Yet they tried to make her, she was 18, or even some they say 27 when she married Muhammad. When Aisha herself, she says she was 6 years old. So since when this is a human behavior to go after children? Why he married Khadija? And she was 15 to 20 or 25 years older than the Prophet. Why? Muhammad did marry Khadija for a very simple reason, because she is rich and he was himself working for her. Do you see the corruption? You just, look like they say, if he ever lost, why a man will go after a woman she is already married twice before him, and she have a bunch of kids, and she is in the age of his mother? Why? Huh? If he have a lost? Well, the answer is very simple. Khadija is the most rich person in Quraysh, between all the women, at least. And Muhammad himself was working for her. That explains. And there is many other verses in the Quran saying the same. They call him a liar and they call him a majnoon. What does that mean? He is a crazy and liar at the same time. الجامع لأحكام القرآن القرطبي 1824-1. That's what it says in this page in the book. This is the book as it is. What it says there. وقال مقاتل زوج النبي زينب بنت جحش من زيد. Let me highlight so people can read with me. And those who speak Arabic, you do not need my translation. Muqatil reported that Muhammad, he did marry Zainab, the daughter of Jahsh, which means donkey, from his son Zayd, and he stayed with him for some time. She stayed with him for some time. And then one day, the Prophet, he came to Zayd, seeking him. He want to see him. فأبصر زينب قائمة وكانت بيضاء جميلة. So he saw Zainab standing, and she was white and very beautiful. Very beautiful. Okay. And she was, by the way, it says here Jasima, which means she is, excuse my language, fat. And the reason it says that make her beautiful, because at that time, the bigger you are, the more overweighted you are, the more you are beautiful. At that time, if a woman, she is skinny, obviously she is sick. You know, men, they don't like to marry her because she is not healthy. Hello? All right. So, because she was white and so fat, she was so beautiful. فَهَوِيهَا. So he fell in love with her. Imagine the guy is going to his own son's house. All of this happened in the house of her son, his son. And then he said, وَقَالْ Subhanallah muqallibul qulub. Praise be to Allah, the one who made my heart flip to you. فسمعت زينب بالتسبيحة. So Zainab, she heard the Prophet praising her, flirting with her. So she mentioned that to her husband Zayd. Then here Zayd, it says فَفَطِنَ Zayd. So Zayd said, I got it. So he went to the messenger and he said to him, oh messenger of Allah, please let me divorce her. She is so arrogant and she hurt me with her long tongue. And then the Prophet, he said, come on Zayd, keep your wife for you. Do you see how much he is honest and he is trustworthy? 15 minutes ago, you were in the house of the guy flirting with his wife. And now you are advising him to keep the wife? So Muhammad, he received a verse from Allah saying, Muhammad, why you are hiding what Allah he gave it, make it clear for you? What he make it clear for you? This woman is yours. Imagine, this married woman is yours. And they say to us that Muhammad was a trustworthy. If this is a trustworthy, what is a scumbag? Imagine you have a friend, not your father, a friend, come into your house, flirt with the wife, and the wife, obviously, she is a bad woman. See, she is not upset from what happened. She wants him to be upset so he will leave her and to know, you know what, if you don't leave me, the Prophet will kill you, because, you know, this guy, if he like to take somebody, he will take me. So this man, to save himself from being killed, he went to Muhammad right away. He says to him, take her. She is bad, she is ugly. She cursed me, she hate me, she have long tongue. And why Muhammad want to marry a woman, she have a long tongue? She have a bad habit, she have a bad reputation. Obviously, she is a very disgusting woman. And then they say here, if you read with me down, and it says that Allah, he sent wind. Allah involved. And it left the curtain. So he saw Zainab and she was wearing almost nothing in her house. Mutafaddila. Mutafaddila in Arabic mean almost wearing nothing, like see-through clothes or short clothes or almost wearing nothing. So Allah, he sent winds, and the winds left the curtain. So Muhammad, he can see the legs of the bum and the breast of his own son wife. And when he saw that, it says فَرَأَ زَيْنَبْ فَوَقَعَتْ فِي نَفْسِهِ. He saw Zainab and he said, that's it, I want her. And وَوَقَعَ فِي نَفْسِ زَيْنَبْ أَنَّهَا وَقَعَتْ فِي نَفْسِ النَّبِي. And Zainab, she noticed right away that the Prophet want her. So when Zayd came, the husband, she told him, your father, he want to do boom boom with me. And then Zayd, فَوَقَعَ فِي نَفْسِ زَيْد أَنْ يُطَلِّقَهَا. So do you see how trustworthy that is? Now, the Quran even documenting the story, not in the books of tafsir only. If we go in the Quran, we will find the same stories. Chapter 33, verse number 37. And remember when you said to him, Zayd, keep your wife for you, Zayd, keep your wife for you. So Allah saying to him, look at this Allah, look at this Allah. So he said to him, you said to him, keep your wife for yourself and fear Allah. But you did hide in yourself what Allah has already made known to you, that he will give you the wife of the guy. And look, between two brackets, in marriage. What marriage? What marriage? The woman is married. What do you mean he will marry the married woman? And when Zainab, she took Muhammad to bed, or Muhammad, he took her to bed, she said to him, Prophet, aren't you going to marry me? Where is the witnesses? He said, Allah and Jibreel. And they say to us that Muhammad is a trustworthy and honest. What about marrying Khadija? If we go to the article, which is funny, in order to make the father of Khadija make them get married, what she did, she made her father drunk. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? How filthy, and how filthy the Khadija and Muhammad together, they are filthy. The marriage of Muhammad, the first marriage of Muhammad, is a fraud. So how Muhammad can be a trustworthy? Let us get some reference, and I'm opening a reference to show you, so that Muhammad and they will not say he's making things up. Where you get this from? We never mention anything from the Christian books or Jewish books, or we mention it from your books, and people will die laughing at the stupidity of your articles. Read carefully with me. This is Musnad al-Imam Ahmad, hadith number 2846, page number 312, volume number 1. And this is islamweb.net, very Islamic terrorist website. So who is the one who wrote the hadith? Muslims. Who is the one who reported? Muslims. Who is the one who published it? Muslims. Who is the one reading it for you? Christian Prince. The person who is the trustworthy. His first marriage. If Muhammad and Khadija, both of them, they are not a bunch of whore, and I say the word whore, they will not do this. Her Khadija wanted to marry him, and she made a drink. Actually, it says the opposite. Her father, he don't want to marry. It says Raghiba. So here they thought Raghiba mean he wanted. He don't want to marry him to her. So she made a food and drink, and she called her father and a group of people, and they feed them, and they drunk. Until when they were drunk, Khadija, she said to her father, marry me from Muhammad. And then after he got drunk, you see, translation is coming funny here, she dressed him nice suit, which usually they do as a very like important occasions. And then when he wake up from his sakar, which means he was drunk, he said, what is this? What is this suit I'm wearing? She said, oh, you do not remember? You marry me to Muhammad. زوجتني بمحمد ibn Abdullah. He said, I marry you to an orphan? This orphan, the one who is from the family of Abi Talib? The trashy Abu Talib? I swear by my life, this is not true. Khadija, she said, aren't you ashamed if we go around and we tell people that you were drunk? Imagine. So they say to you, Muhammad the trustworthy, and this is Muhammad the trustworthy. His first marriage was a blackmailing and a fraud. The father did not marry him to her. Muhammad, the first step to be a prophet, it was alcohol. Literally alcohol. After he married her, became an important man because now he became rich, the wife of Khadija. This is the one who they say in their videos that he is a Sadiqul Amin, the trustworthy. Now hold on. Then they say, so why Muhammad, he waited all those years marrying to Khadija? Because Khadija is the rich woman, she is the one who made him. If he marry another woman, she will kill him, she will destroy him, he will be homeless. But after Khadija, she died, Muhammad now is free. He got the money, so he can get the honey. Now, the videos the Muslim they make, they say, if Muhammad was he have a lust for women, why he marry an old woman, a lot older, he stay with her? Obviously the reason is so clear, it's her money. But let us prove that. What about if we ask Muhammad, what is behind his marriage? What Muhammad he preferred to marry? Muhammad, when he married 6 years old, was that a mistake, or this is his desire, sexual desire? Do Muhammad like old women or even widows? Let us see if this is true. If you remember the story of Jabir, the guy who married a widow, Muhammad, he asked him, Jabir, he said to him, Allah Messenger said to Jabir, have you married? I said, yes. He again, the Prophet said, a virgin or previously married. Now here the word virgin, it's not really true translation, but we will go with it temporarily because later they will expose their lies when they made the word virgin. Is it really just a virgin or she is a child? We will see later. I said, O Messenger of Allah, with one who previously married. Whereupon he said, who said, Muhammad, why? Why don't you marry a young girl? Okay, how young? We know Muhammad, he married Aisha at the age of 6. Look at this guy Muhammad. If he is really, as they claim, that Muhammad, he stayed with Khadija all those years because he is a good person, he liked her, he loved her, he was not after, he don't have a lust. Obviously Muhammad, he is a filthy man. This is a guy who is already married, happily married, he is not complaining. The messenger of your God, Satan, Allah, asking the man, why? Why you marry a previously married woman? Why you don't marry a young girl? How young? Let us see. And what kind of a prophet he encouraged a man to hate the woman he is marrying from just because she is previously married? What's your business? Why? Why, Jabir? Why? Why don't you marry a young girl so that you could sport with her? That is what the pedophile is about. Pedophile, they have a special fantasy when they are playing with the children sexually. Sport with her. Have you ever heard of a prophet advising you to marry from a child and the purpose of this marriage so she will play with you? Unless he is sick, filthy, pedophile. This is a prophet of God, and they are making a video to say he was the trustworthy. The trustworthy, we cannot trust him with a child. The trustworthy is making a guy who is going home, he miss his wife, going home, he making him hate the wife now and go to look for children in the street. Why? Why, Muhammad? You asking the guy? Because he is a filthy man. This is his desire. Or you could amuse with her and she could amuse with you. I said to him, listen carefully. Now we will prove that this is a child, not just young girl. Because young girl, it might be, maybe she is 13. Maybe she is 14. Maybe. No. Story in front of you. When Muhammad advised his own man not to marry a previously married woman, that's mean Muhammad, he hated. When Muhammad, he advised the man that don't marry a previously married woman, go and marry a child, that's mean this is what he loved. When Khadija died, Muhammad appetite open. So he started getting more women and more women. Muhammad even, he allowed Muslims just for fun to rent Muslim women and do mut'ah. 3 days, 3 nights. The Muslims, they say to us, Muhammad do not know how to read, how to write. But we have to agree that there is only one proof that Muhammad, he's a prophet. How we know that? I mean, an angel, he came to Muhammad and he said to him, say ALM, and the prophet, he was able to repeat the 3 letters. I mean, do you know how hard it is? Put yourself in the shoes of the Prophet of Allah. And then an angel, he comes from the middle of nowhere. He squeezed it 3 times. And remember, you have to be squeezed 3 times. Otherwise, you are no prophet. Allah, he honored Muhammad for what? Read carefully.
Like this is a verse in the Quran. It is reported in Tabari that, and many other books of tafsir, that one day Hafsa went away and she was not going to be at home. And so the Prophet called Maria to the house of Hafsa. And it so happened that Hafsa returned earlier than she was supposed to, and she saw Maria leaving her house. So she became extremely enraged and she became irritated with the Prophet ﷺ, and she said that, Ya Rasulullah, is that how much, how do I translate this, respect you have for me, or is that what you think of me in my house and on my day? And so the Prophet ﷺ continued to placate her and calm her down, and she basically was very emotional, and until eventually she made the Prophet ﷺ promise to never ever see Maria again. and the Prophet ﷺ said, I have made her haram for myself.
Okay, hold on. So the wife, she leave the house. Muhammad, he called the slave, the African slave, which have no choice to say no, no or yes. The wife, she come earlier than supposed to be. Come. She saw her. She said to him, in my bed. You see, this guy is a liar. He's not even quoting the correct story. She said to him, in my bed, in my house. في بيتي وعلى سريري. In my house, in my bed, you are effing the women. For sure Allah will honor his prophet. He is an effing machine. I mean, you have tons of wives. The wife, she leave the house, you ask different, why? Because he want to change, you know, they are like candies for him. They are like, you know, Muhammad, he changed shoes, you know, this is how women for him. For sure Allah will honor him. This is why the Quran have a verse speaking about Allah giving him opportunity to F anything he want, except nowhere in the Quran it says you can F your servant. Nowhere. It says Malakatul Yamin, which is the one you own them from war. If you ask the Muslims who gave Muhammad permission to have sex with Mary, the quote. Some of them, they say to you, even they lie, they say, oh, he married her. That's a lie. I can show you the fatwa right now from your scholars saying he never married her. She was just a concubine, a kind of a cucumber. So Allah, he honored the Prophet. The Prophet, he said something secretly to his wife. What secretly? He promised her, don't make a big issue. Don't talk to your dad about me having sex with the slave, insulting you in your house, in your bed. I promise you, I will make your father a caliphate. You see the scam? When the Muslims, they speak about Muhammad, the fornicator. You see, do you remember the guy with his name as Rafi Zachariah? What his name? He had sex scandal. The Muslim made videos. You know, he had sex with the women. She did massage for him. Look who's talking. What he did is a shame because this is against the teaching of Christ. But according to your religion, adultery is something to be proud about. It. Look, you are making videos speaking about your prophet having many, many wives, and yet you are talking openly, loudly, proud about it, that the prophet used to sleep with the maid. The wife she leave, we sleep with the maid. So this guy who did sex scandal, Zechariah, Christians, they, you know, I don't know really if he did it or not. That's what they say. I cannot speak against a dead man. But if he did, we spit at what he did. That is not. So the prophet now, he have 13 wives. Why he is sleeping with more women? If 13 women, they cannot give you what you need, who is going to give you what you need? And why the Muslim men, they can have only 4 and the prophet have unlimited numbers of wives? And his wives is something Islam mean a woman you can sleep with, or obviously Muhammad, he can sleep with anyone. Do you see it? Why Muhammad is sleeping with a slave? You tell me. And in Islam, yes, it's a zina. Because Muslims don't marry. You have a contract for sex. Even your prophet, he made a new contract. It's called muta. Muta. And what muta mean? You rent the women. I mean, it is very funny when the Muslims, they speak about sex scandals, when they are following the most perverted man ever in history. From sex with the children, to kidnapping women or rape them. He even slept with women, dead women in the grave. They asked the prophet, what are you doing? We never saw such a thing before. He said, so the squeeze of the grave will be less on her. What? Why the prophet, he slept with the women, dead women in the grave? Even dead women in the grave? I mean, what is left? Children's, dead women. His own son, wife, the maid. What's wrong with this guy? And then we find that Muhammad himself is saying that he was the most weak person in sexual intercourse. And then Allah, he sent him a dish of cheese kebab. Like, what the heck? Mary, she is not his wife, and she was not captured by war. She was a gift from the ruler of Egypt. He sent her with a bunch of cousins of her to Muhammad, and he was raping them all. All right? This is the hadith, will be translated for you in your eyes, in front of your eyes, translate to English. All right. When Fatima, the mother of Ali Abu Talib, she died, okay, he took off his shirt and he put it on her, and he lay down with her in the grave. This is Google translation, not too much perfect, but it's doing the job. And then they said to him, why you did such a thing nobody did before you? You know? Why you did such a thing? This is something nobody did before you. He said, I did lay, you know, I clothed her with my clothes so she would wear the clothes of paradise, and I lay down with her in her grave to temper the pressure of the tomb, as it says here in translation, to make it easy. You know, mentally ill, mentally sick. And this is even against the Quran, because Muhammad, he says, if you intercede to them or you don't intercede, the intercession is not accepted. Even Muhammad, he tried to intercede to his own mother. His intercession was refused, supposedly. So how Muhammad, he come, where did Allah told him this? Did Allah told him this idea, if you take off your clothes? Or this is a fabrication of Muhammad? So how Muhammad is, and she is a kafir. They are not going to go to heaven anyway. So why he is going, what does that mean? Now we go back to our topic. So the Prophet was caught red-handed having sex with Mary the Copt. The Prophet, as usual, after he promised his wives that he will not have sex with those women, slaves, he missed sex with them. And as always, Muhammad, he make a verse to make it lawful for him. The women, they are upset because he's sleeping with those slaves. Muhammad, he made it easy. Allah told me, as usual. And as long Allah said so, can the wives complain ever? Again? Anytime Muhammad, he want to make himself unquestionable by anyone, even by family members, he make a verse claiming it's coming from God, claiming that God, he gave him authority to sleep with those women. So here you see Allah saying to Muhammad, Aka Muhammad, obviously Muhammad is the one who made this verse, why you are forbidding what Allah made lawful for you? And here you notice this story here contains many issues. Number one, the Muslims, they say to us, Muhammad never did mistake against the religion. Correct? They say to you, Muhammad is a human, he can do mistakes which is not against God teaching. No, he did. The verse in the front of us here says it clearly. The first, the Quran says it clearly that he is a sinner, and Allah saying, may Allah forgive your sin for the past and the one to come. But here it says it clearly that Allah is saying to Muhammad, how you forbid something I did not allow you to forbid? Muslims, if Muhammad is the one who is obeying Allah, and he don't do anything except by Allah's order, how this happen? How the Prophet, he forbid what is not forbidden? That was a mistake. So you forbid what God He allowed. Okay, where Allah He allowed it? Show me. Just to show you the stupidity again. Show me the verse where Allah He says to Muhammad, you can have sex with your maid. A slave, she is not a slave of war. Can you show me? Here, Allah correcting him according to what? How you forbid what Allah made lawful for you? Where Allah He made it lawful for you? If we go to different verses in the Quran, we will find this. Let us go here. Chapter 33, verse number 50. All of this is about the option of Muhammad to have sex. Imagine God, the one who created the 7 galaxies and the 7 midget and the 7 cartoon and Mickey Mouse and all that. This is Allah, you know. So, O Prophet of Allah, verily we have made lawful for you your wives. Look at this idiot. I mean, don't you think Allah He is too late? The guy, so Muhammad, he married all those wives without permission from Allah yet? So after he had sex with them, 100 of boom boom, now Allah decided to tell him it is lawful for you to have sex with the wives? I mean, have you ever heard of such a stupid religion? Muhammad, we just receive a fax from Allah 13 years after you start having sex with their wives, saying it's Allah, He allow you to have sex with your wives. The guy already having sex with them long time ago, and now you are telling him, I made it lawful for you. And whom you paid her mahr. Okay, hold on. Muhammad, he did not pay mahr for many women. And, okay. And those captives and our slaves, look at the lie here. It says, and those captives or slaves. It doesn't say that. It's only the captives. Malakatul Yameen is the slaves of war. If you change the translator, you will find the translation change. Everything change. Stupid cult. Read carefully. Those whom your right hand possess out of the prison of war, who Allah assigned to you. You see it? To thee. But Mary the Copti is not a prisoner of war. She was a gift from the king of the ruler of Egypt. So he have no right to sleep with her. But who care? Muhammad, he make a law. That's it. Allah, he said to him, Allah told me, why you are forbidding this? Allah made it lawful for you. So I find it very hilarious when Muslims they speak about sex scandals of somebody when they are following the most perverted sex maniac prophet. Even his heaven is nothing but porn. Your penis will be endless, your wife's ass will be 1 mile, which is small, by the way. Muhammad, he go with his obsession so far, and he say that women in heaven, they will be so white, to the point you will see the marrow of their bones. Can you imagine having women, you can see the marrow of their bones? And this is God, the promise. And this is Sahih Bukhari. So don't tell me it's weak. You know the garbage. This is a Christian prince. You saw you weak hadith. This is Sahih Bukhari. What we will do now? What the Prophet? They will be transparent, brother. The houris, brother. They are so beautiful, pure, transparent. And this is why the suicide bomber, the filthy who attack a church in Indonesia, you want to get those. Why? How they convince him to die? How this stupid idiot who just took a motorcycle and he exploded himself in front of a church because they told him, brother, don't you want to get the virgin, brother? And the horny Abdul, he said, yes, where? Okay, give me the motorcycle. I want to go right now. Yeah, this is what they want to die. They are not dying for the sake of their God. They are dying for the stupid penis. This is 100% stupid penis religion. Nothing about it about God. You see, if God is important in this religion, all those promises will not exist. Why God need to tempt me by a belly, food, wine, and a penis and a vagina if he is God? This is what Satan does. The funny they say to you that we worship God, but obviously God cannot be God. God don't tempt you by such a thing. God, he says to you, be holy like your Father. It's a project to work in. God, he says you will be like an angel in heaven. He free you from your needs. This is the best happiness. You are free. You are living free, happy. You are not stressed. You are not hungry. You are not horny. But yet you are happy. Very happy. A happiness you cannot reach by your physical being body. Muhammad, he focus in your desire as a human being to tempt you so you go and fight and die for him. And I have a request for all the people who are listening. Please play my videos in the front of your children. I mean, children doesn't mean like they are 6 years old. Children mean children. They can be even 18, you know. Share with them so no false teaching will come to them and they will be deceived, because Muslims, they make millions of videos trying to deceive them. Starting from scientific miracle in the Quran, which is absolutely false and a lie. Muhammad, he tried to commit suicide. Muhammad, he committed sin. The Quran says Muhammad, he committed sin, and Allah says, may Allah forgive your sin. I mean, have you ever heard of a God, he asked other God to forgive the sin of his prophet? The second you quote Muhammad, you will become a perverted person. The second you quote Jesus, you are holy. Did you notice? Did you notice the difference? If you quote Muhammad, the Muslim, they call you perverted. For Allah is a sexual god, black stone kisser, which is in the shape of a vagina. I mean, look who is talking. People who kiss a vagina. People who say to each other, go and suck the clitoris of a lad. They talk about, oh, you talk about sex. I talk about sex because this is how I need to expose your cult. If your prophet never mentioned sex and penises and vagina, then I have no chance to talk about it. But your God and your prophet is the prophet of penis. Mr. Penis. There's Mr. Bean. There's Mr. Penis. This is your prophet. All his religion is about penis, vagina, penis. And not only that. He exaggerates with his lies. I mean, have you ever heard of a prophet? He promised you an English penis. In Christianity, we believe in the tree of life. My friend, everything in Christianity have to do with something physical. It is metaphorical. As an example, when Jesus said, whoever drink from this water will never go thirsty, is he talking about fountain of life? Or he's talking about his teaching, his words? Why Jesus was going and he have a host in his hand giving water to people? No. So when you know, we have a book, it's called the book of parable. The book of parable. This is the book. All the book is about. They asked Jesus, why you speak to them in parable? He did not say it's not parable. He said, I speak to them in parable so they might understand. So he might make it close to our mind because we don't have the capability of knowing God the way he is. So he speaks to us in a simple way. When Jesus speaks about a master and servant, there's no master, there's no servant. This is about God and you. So if we are naive, we take things in a literate way. But Jesus is way higher than this. When Jesus said to them, you can destroy this temple and I will build it. The Jews, they were thinking like the Muslims, what are you talking about? This temple was taken 70 years to build it. How you can build it in 3 days? But Jesus, he meant his body. You can destroy this temple, his body. In the other day, the Muslim, he said to me, you Christian, you drink blood. Is it true, Christian, you drink blood? Do you Christian go to the church and drink blood? This is what they lie to each other about it. Jesus, he have a juice in his hand. He says, drink this, remember this. He break the bread. He says, this is my body will be broken for you. And he was holding a grape juice. He said, this is my blood will be sacrificed for you. Do this to remember me. We don't drink blood. Don't ever compare what this madness religion speak about and what Jesus said. It's an insult. How you can even speak about holiness? You see, look, when the Muslims come here, they ask me, how come you keep talking about sex, right? Because Islam is sex. But if I speak about Jesus, what I will talk about? What I will say? Can I mention even the topic? So, depend in the person how holy or how filthy he is, the topic go high or low. Do you understand? So if we make now a study about Jesus' words, speeches, we will not go down to that level because all his speeches is high. When they said to Jesus, who is going to be the husband of this woman in heaven? He said he and she, they will not get married. Totally the opposite of the garbage of Muhammad. From a person describing for you the size of your penis, the size of the woman's vagina, what will happen to the vagina, how long your orgasm, how hard it is, how blah, 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 all the garbage. To a person in 2 seconds, he destroys all Islam. He says he and she will not get married. They will be different kind of creation. They will be the same as angels. So with the Christ, you are free from your lust, from your sexual desire, from your needs. You are free like an angel. You see, when Jesus says you will be the same as angels, he is talking about you being free. Today you are not. Today you have to sleep. For me, in how many hours I can stay awake, I have to sleep. How many hours I can stay without, I have to drink. I have desires. I have temptation. I need money. Okay. You are not free. You are surrounded by needs. But with a Christ, in the coming of a Christ, you will be free. And here you notice that Jesus said, he and she, they will be the same as angels. That is the first time you hear somebody saying. And that somebody is God himself. Because always in religions, women are taken down. They are not equal to the man. The glory for the man, the heaven for the man. God, he sent men as a prophet, right? All the prophets are men. But in the Bible, no. We will find there's a prophet, so they are females. We will find that women are judges in the Bible, in the Old Testament. With Christ, the women and the man, he and she are equal. He didn't say he will be free, she will be serving him in heaven. No, he and she will be the same as angels. So a man is no better than a woman. A man have a duty, a woman have a duty in this life. In the Bible, the man is the Lord of the house, but to serve and to love. The same as Jesus, he washed the feet of his followers. yet he is the master. And he said to them, if you don't do what I am doing, you don't belong to me. If you cannot be a servant, you cannot be a master. So when Christ, he gave you a job to be a master, that means you are the servant. I came to serve, not to be served. Here we notice the huge difference between Christ and the madness of Muhammad. And you know, even when the Muslim, they say to you, Jesus, he said, I'm a greater, my Father is greater than I. I mean, did you notice that Jesus is, let us say for the sake of argument, I mean, are you aware of what you are saying, the question? Jesus comparing himself, excuse me if my stomach is making noise. This is what happens when you are single, you know. When he say, my Father is greater than I, he's comparing himself to who? To God. You just admitted that Jesus is God. Because I cannot say my God is greater than me. I am no one compared to him. I mean, you see, if you want to compare yourself, you don't compare even in language. You don't compare between an apple and, let us say, a rock. You say this apple better than this apple. This apple is greater than this apple or bigger. They have to be both apples. So when Jesus said, my Father is greater than I, he is just saying you, I'm God. And he is my Father. And always the Father is greater than the Son. That's why he's called Father. And the Son is not great as the Father because the Son is coming to you in a humble way as a flesh of a man. So the Bible says, so God, he humbled himself. He come to us in the likeness of a man. That is the Son of God. This is why the Father is greater than the Son. But Jesus, in the same time, he says, the same as the Father work, I work. The same as the Father do, I do. And the amazing thing is that we Christians, when we speak to Muslims, we are not trying to defend how amazing Christ is. We are just busy defending if he's God or not. While the Muslims are trying to prove to us that Muhammad is not perverted. Do you notice? For us, we are just, the discussion is Jesus God or not? Because what they cannot, the Muslim, they will say to you, we cannot insult Jesus. You cannot insult Jesus because he did nothing wrong. He's holy. Muhammad is being funny. He says Jesus permitted Muhammad to be born. So what? God, he permitted Adam to be born. Adam commits sin, Eve commits sin. So God, he gave a human being. This is why we are different from Muslims. We don't believe in a destiny. The Muslims, they believe in it. The destiny we believe in is very different. As an example, I am destined to die. It doesn't matter how much I live. This is destiny, but it's not about my choices in life, about I will be bad or good. All of us, we will die. That is destiny in Christianity. If we believe in destiny, this is the destiny here. But we don't believe in destiny that you will be good or bad. The Bible says that God, he chose the people who, he chose his people, right? Before they chose him. That is the knowledge of God. He knew them. The same as God, he chose Mary. But if Mary don't want to be chosen, she can refuse. The same as somebody, he decided to be a monk serving God. But he chose to be. God did not force him. But God in his knowledge, he knew what you will do, what I will do, what I will be. But he don't force me. God created good and created evil. How is that? Well, he created Satan. But if you notice in the Bible, God did not create Satan to be Satan. He created him to be an angel. And that to prove that in Christianity there is a free will. Angel decide to be Satan, not God made him Satan. Is that correct? It's not God who decide that, hey, you, I want you to be Satan. In Islam, no. In Islam, Satan is doing the will of Allah. If you go in the Quran, you will find that the Quran is saying that Allah appointed shaitan, shayateen, which mean many Satans, to deceive his prophets, to attack his prophet. He appointed them. Read carefully. This is not my word. We thus have we appointed into every prophet the devils of mankind and jinn. The Muslim, they love this verse. It says, Jesus, I did not come to bring peace. Well, read the verses before it. They have to shut up, because the verse after it's saying clearly that people will kill you, not the opposite. People will go against each other, and people will be killing you in the name of their God. It's not the Christian who will kill people. And Jesus said the truth. When the good person he come, the evil one will go crazy. So when Jesus says, I did not come to bring peace, he is predicting what people will do against him and those who believe in him. Otherwise, you should ask them, okay, if Jesus says that, how many people Jesus killed? Can you give me the number? How many people Jesus, like he took a sword, hey, I'm not coming here for peace. Isn't it Jesus says, love your enemy? And the one who hit your right cheek, give him the left one. So Muslims, they can say whatever they want. They are desperate. Here is your duty to educate your children, so Muslims cannot play in them. They can play them. Do you understand? So it's very important for us to learn how to refute those false allegations. When they say to you about slavery, how many slaves Jesus he have? They will say to you, David was a king. David was a sinner. Solomon was a sinner. All names are sinners, including me and you. The question is, did Jesus own slaves? Did Muhammad own slaves? Then we will know the difference. Jesus have 0 slaves. 0. You know what 0? And imagine you are in a time of a slavery and you can give life to kings. They will give you whatever you want. Those rich people who they are asking for help, like the rich man who came to Jesus, says, help me please. Can Jesus say to him, give me all your money, all your slaves, everything you have, all your jewelries? Jesus did never ask for a penny. He never owned a slave. And there's an additional thing too. He never had a woman. You see, there is something always we try to ignore. We don't talk about it. Can I say that I don't like women? No, I cannot. I will be a big fat liar. Can I say I don't get tempted? I cannot. I will be a big fat liar. Can't I say that my eyes, when they see, a woman, she is beautiful, like, okay, she is beautiful? In case of Jesus, there's nothing. When the Muslims, they speak about Jesus, how come they don't tell us about how many wives he have? And if he have 0, how come? He is a Muslim, supposedly. Isn't it in Islam, the religion of Islam is nikah? They come to Muhammad, they say to him, are you going to stop having sex like the Christians? He said, no, my deen, my religion is nikah. If Jesus is not God, and he is young, and he have thousands and thousands of followers, imagine how many women they would love to marry this person. Imagine you are a person who thousands of people walk behind you to see your miracles. Imagine if you are a person who can make the blind see by a touch. Make the person who cannot walk all his life, say to him, walk, carry your bed and walk. How many people will be crazy about him? Yet there is nothing in the life of Jesus. Muhammad, I don't like stupid talk, you know. Yeah. Jesus having life, narrate image. Get out of here, coward. When somebody make a fabrication or a lie, you have to give me a source. You make your own movie, you make a fabrication story, you need to give us a source. I can make a movie now about, I have 700 wives. Remember, a belief is based in what people believe, not what you claim. So when I show the Muslims, it says this in the Quran, it says this in the Quran. So when you come to the Christians, say Jesus, he had a wife, you have to prove it. Where do you get this from? That is a very stupid statement and insulting, and that's why I'm going to block you. Never come here. You see, I don't tolerate somebody insult Jesus. You can insult me, you can call me whatever you want. The second you insult my Lord, I will spit on you. Literally. Don't even try. You can make lies about me, you can make videos, you can say whatever you want about Christian Prince. I don't care. I laugh, actually. If you want to say something about Christ, you have to give a proof. And the proof is the Christian books. Anything else is not. I mean, if you study law, if you are just a little kid, stupid, that's your business. But if you study law, you cannot sign a document by your hand, says, this guy, he borrowed money from me and this is my signature. You idiot, you have to show his signature. So if you want to use a proof against me, you have to use my signature, not yours. And that's why you see in front of you on the screen, everything I'm showing you on the screen is your signature. Not a book. You see, if you go to the books of a Christian Prince, you will see no reference of a Christian Prince is made by a Christian Prince. I show you Al-Qurtubi, Al-Tabari, Al-Jalalain, Sahih Al-Bukhari, Al-Quran. Those are your signatures. I'm using your document against you. You don't play the game, this dirty game with me. Make fabrication lies. What a shame. People have no shame. Of God. Isn't it enough that Jesus, he can make you healed from leprosy? Isn't it enough that Jesus, he can make you come from the death? Why Jesus need more? To the point he can tell you what you eat and what you ate and what you store in your houses. Which means he have knowledge of no one knowledge. Except the one who did the act. What is left of Jesus to keep him as a man, not as a God? What is the qualification of God is left out of this verse? And the same question we can ask to Allah, the God of the Muslims. Can Allah quicken the dead? The Muslim, they will say, yes, show us. Muhammad have no proof. Can Allah make the blind see? The Muslim, they will say, yes. Show us. Can Allah heal the leper? They will say, yes. We say, show us. I mean, how simple it is. So Islam is an empty cult. But this empty cult, even though it's meant to erase the name of Christ from this earth, by mistake, the devil, he confirmed the identity of Christ, that he is God and he is saying to us, worship me. If you are a Muslim and you are reading this verse and you see that Jesus can raise people from death, Jesus can tell you what you hide in your houses. Jesus can heal you from blindness. He can heal you from any kind of illness. What is left of the quality of God to Allah? Did Allah give all his equality to Jesus and he is sitting home now? Jesus the man, yet he is Jesus the one who resurrects. Yet he is Jesus the one who can tell you what you hide. Yet he is Jesus the one who can heal you from any disease. Yet he is the one who can make you see even if you are born blind. Who is Jesus? This is a question Muslims cannot answer except by fabrication and going around the point. So what we understand from the Quran and from the Bible, that Jesus have the authority, and that authority is authority of God. This is why the Jews, they came to him, as we saw in the Bible, and they wanted to kill him because he made himself equal to God. Why and how? Because he have the quality of God. He said, I do the same as my Father. My work is the same as the work of my Father. Whatever my Father do, I do. And the Quran confirmed to us that Jesus, he do the work of the Father. He is the resurrector. He is the healer. He is the savior. He is the one who can tell you your sin, what you hide, what you do behind the curtain. He can heal you from blindness. He can make you see. He is the one who can do what no one can do. And here you notice in verse number 22, it says that judgment is given to the Son. And then we find Muhammad saying that Jesus will come down to this earth as a just judge. Can you believe it? Even that in the cult of Islam is given to Jesus. What is left? You tell me. Leave your comment in the comment section, and until we see you soon again, we will keep this video in the channel. Give our video a like if you like it. Give it this a like if you are a Muslim for sure. We appreciate the Muslim support by giving this like. And we don't care really. Well, you know, the truth will set you free, and that is Jesus. He is the truth. He is the truth. Not a person who says stupid things claiming to be a prophet. Not a God who did not know which one he created first. In one verse he says that the stars at the end, in the other chapter he says the stars was in the beginning. In one verse he says that the human being is coming from the sperm is coming from a backbone, and the woman, she have a sperm coming from the ribs. Other verse says where the sun was set in murky water, and he found where the sun set and where people next to it and where the sun rise. A God who think earth have edges, the God who think there is two east and two west, the God who say the most silly stupid things, yet he claimed to be God. I'm not a fool. Are you? Thank you very much for watching. May the Lord bless you all, and we will be happy to have you always. God bless. Christ is Lord. Islam is false. And thank you very much.